What's up everybody? My name's Joey, this is Eclectic's Workshop, and today I'm going to show you how my wife and I built this dope ass Bluetooth speaker right here in our garage. Alright, let's get it.
Warning! Working with power tools and unprotected lithium cells can be extremely dangerous. Only operate tools and use unprotected cells if you have been trained to do so. Also, do it at your own risk. To build this box, we need 2 3/4 inch PVC pipes cut to a length of 3.5 inches. We also need 1/2 inch plywood cut into 2 7 3/4 inch squares, 2 6 3/4 inch by 7 3/4 inch almost squares, and 2 6 3/4 inch squares. Project started. Equip safety gear. Ready to start.
So this is birch plywood. It's supposedly really good for sound quality. I'm not sure, I don't have any real test equipment, but I've used everything from particle board, MDF, and pine plywood. They all sound pretty good. Use whatever you can, whatever's in your budget or whatever you have lying around. This fence may look a little strange, but I guarantee you it's a lot better than the one that we had. We did have an aluminum one that had a pin jutting out and it was all wavy. It gave us horrible cuts. This is a nice piece of scrap wood that we just have clamped down to the table. It works perfectly, and you should give it a try if you need a new fence.
The best way that I've found to do this is to first cut 2 7 3/4 inch by 2 foot strips. Then take one strip and cut 2 7 3/4 inch squares. Make sure to save your leftover piece.
Now that we've got our 2 strips and our 2 squares cut, we can move our fence down to 6 3/4 for our last 6 cuts.
Now that the fence is moved, we can take our other strip and cut 2 6 3/4 by 7 3/4 inch almost squares, and from the leftovers cut our 2 6 3/4 inch squares. Never try to remove a piece of wood while the blade is still running. Ask me how I know.
Now that we've got all of our pieces cut, top and the bottom, and the 2 sides can go off to the side here for now, we're going to focus on the front and the back. We're going to mark our center points for the component cup that we made, also for our speaker and for our 2 ports. Go this way. We got 4, and these are in 8ths, so 4 is 8/8, so that's 3 7/8. Tighten that up so it doesn't move on us. So now we can visually try and estimate about the center of the board. Grab our carpenter's pencil, make a mark there, and then boom, make a mark there. That is the center point for the speaker. Next, we're gonna grab the back, and we're gonna do almost the same thing over again, but we're gonna stop a little short. We're gonna go here, I'm gonna go about right there-ish. That's probably close to like 2.5 inches or so. We're just gonna make a mark. Now that's gonna be 2.5 inches from the bottom, so we're gonna go right here. Oh no, I'm bad at measuring by eye. Next thing we're gonna do is shove a stone down to the 1.5 inches. Right there. If we want to, we can make ourselves a little note that this is the back. So we got 1.5 inches, gonna make a mark here. And we're gonna go boom, make a mark there. Then we're gonna boom, make a mark there. Then we're gonna make a mark right there. Boom. That is it. Too easy.
3 1/4 inch hole saw. Nice. 1 inch forcing blade. Let's get it. Okay, I have the PVC pipe port tube and it doesn't quite fit in the hole. To fix this, I take a 0.5 millimeter fine point pin, line up the port, and trace around it. This will guide me on the oscillating spindle sander. Next, we need to mark our PVC pipes at 3.5 inches and cut them down to size.
And do that. And then just beep. Good enough. So, luckily for me, my wife Krista built this table saw sled out of scrap wood. I think it'll be perfect for cutting this PVC pipe. Honestly, normally I just hot glue these in and it's always been fine, but I saw this on the shelf that my wife bought the other day, so I'm gonna give it a try, see what I do, see what it does. All right, now the bottle says, press together or clamp for a minimum of 15 minutes. Do not stretch joints for 24 hours. All right, sounds good. Hopefully that'll be enough of a press fit that it'll work.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from
I am back in the workshop and this glue should be more than dry because it's been, too many days. Anyways, the quick and thick seems to have done the trick. It's nice and secure. Seems like it's made a really good seal. I think I'm actually going to use this for the rest of the project.
I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Reload. Supply air.
So I'm going to be using a nail gun, but if you don't have one of those, it just takes a little bit more time. You just have to use the clamps, wait for the glue to dry before you move on to the next piece. Since I have a nail gun, I'll set it up, I'll be able to hit it a couple of times, and move on to the next piece, and then, it just moves a little bit faster, but you do also have to fill in the holes at the end. So there's its trade-offs and benefits. Anyways, whenever you're gluing stuff, especially on a wood surface or any other surface, I do recommend using a little bit of wax paper. It just helps prevent the glue from sticking to anything else. What I do is I take 2 pieces of scrap wood, and then I take my base, 1 clamp, tighten it down, nice and tight, doesn't move much, make sure that's flush against it, run this one up against that, and then I set my next clamp. What this does is it allows me to very quickly line up my edges and know that I'm good. Now that we have the jig set up, we can get rolling on this project. I went ahead and put on my eye and ear protection since I will be using this nail gun. So to start, you can get a little bit of glue on our brush. Ooh, it's thick. I guess that's why they call it the quick and thick. Go ahead and smear this on here. Now that I've got it glued, I can pop it back in the jig. Line up my first side. Now it's time for the nail gun.
I almost forgot. We gotta make this thing square before we nail it. Sometimes you will miss, but try again.
So the best way I found to do this is to construct one top in one side and one bottom in one side. Then after you get those, you can put the glue on the top and bottom pieces and then just fuse them together. Put your nails in and then you're good to go. Now that we have the main structure of the box built, I like to go ahead and take a little bit of my glue that I've been working with. And whoop, there we go. And I like to just dab it into the corners here. Now what this does is when it dries, it'll create a nice seal, and we'll make sure that the box is airtight so that we don't have any weird sound effects or anything like that coming from it. Now that we have the main structure of the box built, glued up and nailed in, we can go ahead and glue on the front face. First we'll get a test fit to see how all this lines up. That looks pretty good so far. Sweet. Now we'll grab our glue and apply a whole lot. Don't be afraid of it. It ain't gonna hurt you. I'm constantly checking the edges to make sure that they're not too far off before I put my first nail in. And I think that is probably as good as we're gonna get it. If you have excess glue leaking out of the sides, all you have to do is get a wet paper towel or a wet rag and wipe it up. Now it's time to glue the back on. Now that we've got the box fully constructed, I'm gonna wait for the glue to dry and I'm gonna grab me something to eat. Before I ate, I actually went ahead and filled all the holes with the sandable wood filler. But now that I'm back, everything is nice and dry and we can go ahead and start sanding. Now that everything is sanded, I can finally get the painting done. To do this, I just used the PVC pipe propped up with 2 chairs running through the holes and rotisserify it and paint it that way. Yeah.
While waiting for the paint to dry, I'm printing the component cup and seal I designed. The cup is printed with ABS in 2 sections, and it houses the power port, on-off switch, and the battery indicator. Yay, now that that's done, we can print the seal. This TPU seal should prevent any air from leaking from the cup after installation.
Now that I've got the base coat of paint on, it's time to take this over to Krista so that she can put the real paint on it. Here you go, Doubles.
Thanks.
It's all yours now.
Alright, see what I can do.
Alright, thanks, Dubs.
Yep.
While Krista is painting, I can start assembling the electronics. I used a label maker to change this pack from parallel to series. Now I need to wire it to match.
When working with these cheaper parts that we buy in bulk, it's always best to double check them just in case. We don't want anything unsafe to go out. This BMS actually wasn't working properly, so we had to yoink it off the board and install this one instead. Now that we're waiting on the glue to dry, let's go check up on Krista's progress. Hey Doubles, how's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty good. You want to check it out?
Yeah!
Man, that thing looks incredible. She's made a lot of progress. I'd better catch up. Now that everything is soldered, let's perform a quick sanity check. Remember, the BMS should need power input to wake up before it will output power. Hey, looks like everything's working. Nice!
Hey Dubs, I finally got the painting done. Check it out.
Oh wow, that looks really good, loves. I'm sure she's gonna love this.
I hope so.
Alright, it's finally time to put this thing together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. For a full parts list and all the files to 3D print a component cup yourself, check the links in the description. I'd like to give a special thanks to my friend James for helping me film, and also to my sister Rachel for patiently waiting until February for her Christmas gift. I love you guys. Well, that's all I have for you today. Bye!